see how everyone is doing. I like really want to change that lighting, you guys. I look green. I don't know if that's any better. At least I look a little less green. Hey, Hannah. Hey guys, how are you guys? I don't know what's going on with the lighting. Okay, so quarantining. You guys, this week has been rough for me. This is our third week in, we're social distancing. But me and my kids are just staying home. We're not going anywhere. And I don't know, I started to feel sick yesterday. And hello, Emma Louise. Hey, Sam. I'm just exhausted. I think, the stress of everything and then just being so tired hit me so hard yesterday. And, at 7 o'clock at night, I just started crying. And I was like, I just have to go to bed. I cannot deal with this anymore. I'm tired. I don't feel good. The fact that I don't feel good was stressing me out. So I just went to bed super early and slept for 15 hours. And I needed that. I feel like we all need a good 15 hours of sleep a night. Every little time, one of my kids coughs or, my throat is so sore today. It freaks me out. And normally it's oh, I hope I'm not getting sick. And now it's oh my gosh, what if I have it, So it's definitely been a crazy couple of days here. The numbers in Utah where I live are going up, but kind of slowly, not bad. So it's kind of everyone here is just bracing, waiting for it to hit, which the stress of that is, I don't know, it's just a lot. So how are you guys doing? Mike, how's work in California? Gargle with warm salt water. I've heard you're supposed to gargle with salt water. It makes me gag so bad. I'm actually gonna do it because I really don't want to get sick. So how is everything where you guys are? I know we have someone from California on here. I know we have a New Yorker, Mr. Bond. What are things looking like where you guys are? You made a blanket for it. That's awesome. Okay, somebody just said, I recommend a glass of scotch, and I have the funniest story about that. So, you know how our grandparents did things that, would definitely not be recommended now? My grandma used to keep a bottle of scotch under her bed, and if, anybody had a sore throat, she would, tell them to drink it. Mike, is that where, are you in Ventura County? I think somebody said Indiana is getting bad. I actually have some family in Indiana. Does the scotch work, Emma? I've never tried it. I'm not a big drinker. But my best friend today, Thousand Oaks, I was telling her that we don't have any hand sanitizer because I never bought it when people were panic buying. I assumed that would get restocked, and it never did. And she made me some out of Everclear and aloe vera oil and something else. Anyway, So, yes, it is very strong. New York streets are still empty. Texas is getting scary. Oh, Sam, I am sorry. It's crazy because that's funny, Mike. Send it to me. I've heard that there are places where you can get in trouble for just leaving your house. And like, I take my kids just for drives. Sometimes if it's warm outside, we kind of roll down the windows and just drive around in the mountains just to get them out of the house. Today and yesterday were like the only days warm enough to even leave. We've literally been locked in our house because it's been raining and snowing. So, yeah, it's crazy that some cities have like police enforcing that. Utah does not have, well, where I am, they don't have a, like an order. They're just asking people to stay home. Mike, I saw your picture on Instagram and that was so creepy. Of like the empty freeway. That was super eerie. All of these pictures of like California highways and stuff being empty and like the New York streets, it like makes the hair on like it like gives me tingles, like not in a good way. Like, it's so eerie to see these pictures of places that shut down. Do we have anybody from Jersey on here right now? I've heard Jersey is really, really bad too. It is so weird, Emma. Manhattan. Yeah, I don't know. I have like, I go back and forth between how I think about this. I'm home and I'm scared. I don't want my kids to get sick. And I just want to stay home as long as it takes. And then some days I'm like, I just want this to be done. Like, I just want everybody to get it so we can be done. But I don't, because I know if everybody got it, like, there would be people that I know who wouldn't make it. Mike, I have to. Actually, California's kind of killing it with their numbers. Like, it seems like you guys are kind of flattening your curve, which is awesome. They said we kind of maybe were because we weren't growing like very fast, but then we've had a couple of bad days here where we've had some deaths and stuff, so. Is everything in Australia like locked down, like you can't leave your house? Or they're just asking you not to? We can go to the shops, yeah. So, I went to Walmart today for the first time in weeks. Yes, Gina, I agree. Okay, I totally agree with that. I wish that everyone in the whole US could have just locked down, like full on shut down, locked down as much as possible for like 2 or 3 weeks, because this does feel like we're gonna be like quarantining for so long. I don't think so. In Arizona, where I'm from, they just like stopped schools. And I don't think my kids are gonna go back to school. And they're really sad about that. Like, it was so abruptly stopped that they didn't get to say goodbye to their friends and stuff. Okay, that Texas comment about the playgrounds, that is how Utah was. People were not worried. There were kids out playing on all the playgrounds and everything. And frustrating because we were home and we have a park that's like right across the street from our house. And we would see kids there, and my kids didn't understand why they couldn't go out, but all these other kids were. And then our city actually came and like taped them all off so that nobody can go on them. Because there's no point in shutting down all the schools if all the kids are just going to be playing at the parks and spreading it around anyway, so it is hard for kids to understand this. Hannah, I so agree. I seriously was so mad one day because our next door neighbors had like kids coming in and out all day, like all these neighbor kids and stuff. And I told my husband, I was like, I want to get a bullhorn and walk through the neighborhood and just be like, you guys, stop it. Just stay in your house, please. This is like social responsibility. Oh, okay, so Mike said that the trails in California have been shut down too. Our like pathways and stuff have not been shut down. We live right on the bench of a mountain. So we walk out our door, and at the end of the street there's like a pathway that leads up the mountain. Oh, I heard about those refrigeration trucks in New York, and that's the kind of news that like makes me sick to my stomach. We have been walking on our like hiking up in the mountains, and there haven't really been a lot of people, but yesterday there were, and I was getting so annoyed because I mean the paths are pretty wide, like almost as wide as well, not as wide as a road, but they're pretty wide. And I'd be walking and would see people coming, and so I'd make all my kids line up and like stay to one side. And then this other family, they're all like spread out this way, walking along. And I'm like, I don't want to rub shoulders with you. Why do you think we're like lining up over here? Stay away from, like, people don't understand. Even if you're outside, you don't need to be right next to each other. Thank you, Emma. That's sweet that you're thinking of the US. They keep saying, like, the next 2 weeks are going to be really bad. The next 2 weeks are going to be really bad. And I feel like I'm just bracing for it. I keep going to the store, like, every time we go grocery shopping. I try to buy enough so that I don't have to come back for, a couple weeks. Yes, I agree with that too. Just call them out. So I don't know. And we had, like, when school first got canceled, I had some friends that were like, hey, do you want to get the kids together? And I was like, no, that's not why school is canceled. They didn't cancel school so we can have play dates. But a lot of people think this is not that big of a deal, and it might not be for some people, but it very well could be. Like, okay, so I totally went off about this on my Instagram stories, so if you follow me on Instagram, you already know, but something that happened here last week was the Mormon Church is calling home all of their missionaries. So where I live, there's like a very high Mormon population. And because of the virus, the Mormon Church who sends missionaries out to like all across the world, called them all home. So like hundreds of missionaries were coming home to the airport. And they were like, you guys cannot come into the airport to pick them up. Just stay in the parking garage and we'll get them to you, But they didn't. All of these, they said send one family member to the airport to pick them up. And whole families were there with signs, like hundreds of people in these groups greeting these missionaries who just flew in from all over the world. And so, we missionaries, you have to self-quarantine for 14 days. And they're not. I was talking to my brother-in-law, and he's like, oh, I have to go. My son just got here with all of his missionary friends. And I was like, aren't they supposed to be in, like, quarantine? And he's like, yeah, they're not doing that. Like, so I actually do think that Utah is gonna, like, has the potential to have this really big explosion because of all of that. Mike, can he reschedule it, like, for a while? Yes, that was funny. Yes, so we had a 24-year-old woman who died here from it. Hannah, you know what, like, okay, so if you just joined, I talked about a minute ago how I kind of had like a complete, like, my body hit the deck last night. I don't feel good. I have a sore throat. I am exhausted. I am stressed to a point that, like, I have never been before. I'm trying to homeschool kids, and now that my kids are home, like, trying to film, my house is never quiet. And anyway, I just, like, I hit the deck. I was so tired, and I just needed, like, this emotional, like, I just needed to not think about it. And so I decided, like, I'll get on the news for a minute. And, like, I do like to see the numbers. I like to see where things are happening because it helps me feel more in control. But I cannot do what I was doing, where I was spending like 5 hours every day reading every single article I could find about different things. Okay, so Mike, I'm swinging back to you, buddy. I agree, and I think I have never been on a cruise because I get super, like, motion sickness in airplanes. I get really sick. I went on a ferry boat to Catalina Island when I was in high school, and I threw up the whole way there. So I've never been a big cruiser. But if you think about it, there are so many people packed so close together that it's like suffocating to me. It's why I don't like New York. Yes, people who are not self-isolating at this point are super selfish. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the missionaries for a minute here because I was so mad about all of these people coming home and everybody just ignoring. And I actually had a cousin who came home from the Philippines, and he, you know, not our whole family, but his family went to greet him, and they even posted, and they were like, it was so great, like, to see him, and nobody was social distancing, but that was okay because our kids were home. And I was like, okay, but if these people infect these people and these people, and it scatters, like, I want these people charged with, like, negligent homicide. And I know that sounds ridiculous because a lot of people are spreading it who are trying to be careful, but people like that who are just flat out ignoring it because they don't care, I was, like, calling for criminal charges to be made. South Africa. Okay, South Africa, isn't Africa like pretty low? Don't they have pretty low cases? Am I right with that? I was looking at the map the other day and I was like, oh, Africa's not too bad. Yes, people in their 20s and 30s are dying. Hello, Alpha. That's the thing, is it's younger people. Like, yesterday when I was like spinning out of control in my own head, I was like, I have 4 kids, and it's not like a ton of kids aren't getting sick from it, but what if me and my husband both died? Like, people need to realize it's serious. And yes, I realize it's a low percentage of cases of people who do die, but the fact that everyone's getting it, it's still a very percentage. Yes. And you're like in New York, so you know. You guys have been like, how long have you been locked down in Manhattan? I feel like you've been locked down for a while. Hi, Luke. Welcome to my channel. Got to finish some things before I gotta work. Yes, thank you, Mike. Be safe, my friend. 3. Isolating for 2 weeks. 1,300 cases. Okay, so how many of you have like either a really close friend or family member who has tested positive? I do not know anybody personally yet, but I have 2 really good friends whose parents are both in really bad shape here in the United States. And I feel like the more people who we know who are getting infected, then it becomes more surreal to people. Oh, I'm glad your friend is doing okay, Jade. Brooklyn Judge just died. Yeah, it's just insane. I keep like thinking a month ago, even though like I knew it was happening in China, I had kind of heard, that this was happening even a month ago. I never thought that my life would look like this today. Yes, New York is the epicenter. Okay, so wasn't it Seattle first? Because I know Seattle was really bad, and I know California was really bad, and then I think those 2 have kind of, I don't know, leveled out a little bit. But I know New York is not leveling out. Is it worse in Europe? I know, I think America has more cases now. Yes, so it was, I remember hearing that it was hitting Seattle. And now, Seattle's not even one of the like top cities in the United States anymore. It's so creepy. Okay, so John Hopkins has this map that I look at every day, and they have all the numbers. And at first, it was just like red spots along the outside of the United States, right? Like Washington and California, and then like New York, New Jersey, and then Louisiana after Mardi Gras. They started to get into bad shape. And you would look at it, and there'd be like a couple little dots, right, throughout the United States, and then these like heavy red borders. And they're just like slowly every day, the whole map is like moving in like this. The amount of virus and viral loads indicates more symptoms and death. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to check in with like, seriously. I don't know if this is just like the mother in me. I want to get on here every day and be like, okay, how are my people? How are you guys? Like, is everybody okay? Is anybody sick? So, I hope that everyone is doing okay. I know we will get through this, and like, I saw this cutest post that somebody posted, and it was like this one doctor who had come out of retirement to help. Like, he literally had retired and then came out of retirement to help in New York. And this other guy in an apartment, like, I guess the people above him were really sick, and he would go outside and hold up a bowl of dog food to feed their dog every night. No, I have not seen the was really weird, but it was really gross. Yes. Emma Louise. Okay, is Louise your middle name? I know, it was sweet to feed the dog. Anyways, this post, I'll have to see if I can find it and share it on Instagram, but it was just all of these, like, you know, people coming together to help each other, and those are the kinds of things I need to look at this time instead of, like, numbers. Okay, yeah, so my husband had a, like, Zoom doctor's appointment today, too, because his doctor's like, yeah, I'm not even going in. Like, they're just seeing patients from home. Emma. That's my daughter's middle name. That's why I asked you. I think that's such a cute name. So, anyways, well, what else? So, I was thinking last night that I may have to, like, pull back on posting on YouTube just a little bit, because it's been a lot to try to keep up with. I feel like homeschooling my kids is so crazy, and I just never have time to research, and my videos have been really short, and then I don't have time to film, and so I may go back to 2 days a week for the next couple of weeks, just until I kind of find a new rhythm. But I am posting over on Patreon too, so hello, Luke. I am sorry to hear that, and thank you, Gina. I feel like I want to put out a lot of content for everyone, because if you guys are like me, you're just at home trying to, like, watch stuff to keep your mind off of things. But at the same time, it's like, I need to just take some time for myself. But I've been, like, trying to think what I could do. Like, I feel like I wish I could do more. Shows do you recommend? Okay, my favorite true crime podcasts are My Favorite Murder. It's my number one, and it's because it's hilarious. And thank you, Mandy. It's true crime, but they're really funny, but they're not making fun of crime. I don't know, it's a weird dynamic, but it totally works. So I really like that one, and I really like, yes, SSTGM. What is the other one that I cannot think of right now? He always starts off and he says, "This is the podcast that shows that the real monsters are people." Does anybody know which one I'm talking about? I can't think of what it is. I'll leave it in the comments if I remember, but it's really good. I'm like totally blinking, but I listen to that one a lot too. Are you guys okay? Is everybody? What do you do? Do you know if I'll stick to your ASMR? Oh, thank you, Emma. Sword and Scale, yes. Sword and Scale is the name of the podcast I was talking about. Thank you. I do not listen to The Vanished, so I'm like weirdly picky with my podcast, because if I hate people's voices, I can't. Like, I return audiobooks all the time because I hate the person's voice who narrates, so I'm kind of weird with my voices. Not that the Vanished podcast has a bad voice. I've never listened to that, but I will, like, try out new podcasts, and I have to, like, really like the person who's delivering the information, or I get annoyed. Yes, I love Serial. Basically, I am George in Seinfeld in so many more ways. That's hilarious. No, is The Teacher's Pet a podcast? Because that sounds good. Oh, that's awesome. My, like, hometown murder. My very first true crime video that I did like a my hometown murder. to see if people liked it. Mind of a Murderer. No, I haven't heard that. I feel like a little gypped that everyone is getting to listen to all these podcasts and watch all this Netflix, and I feel like I've just been so busy. And this is so nerdy, but I'm getting ready to start my garden, which I am like so into. So I just bought all my seeds and stuff. Okay, I think I'm the only person in the world who has not watched Tiger King. Red-Handed. Oh, I think I have Red-Handed. Like, I think I subscribed to Red-Handed, but then I never watched it. So yeah, I haven't done that one. Okay, good, Courtney. So we're in the same boat. Like, it is my social responsibility to watch Tiger King. You guys, I don't even know what it's about, but it looks kind of dumb. See, I can't do animal stuff either. What was the other show that everyone was telling me to watch? Something about cats. And I was like, yeah, actually, I can't. If they're like abusing animals or animals are being anything, I can't do it. Can fall asleep to the new video upload. I know, YouTube just restricted that new video too. That was a bummer. I do not understand why, like how YouTube picks which videos of mine that they, yes, Hannah, that they restrict, but they often restrict my missing persons videos and not my like serial killer videos. And like today's video, I don't know, with a missing person, you don't have a body, you don't even really have a crime scene to talk about, so I don't know why they do that. So that is super frustrating. Hannah, I can't either. I don't even like to eat meat because I just think of the baby cows, you guys. It makes me so sad. So what else are you guys watching on Netflix or listening to? I need to, I think at night, instead of like researching every night, I'm gonna like take a couple of nights a week and just watch TV or just like do something that's super low-key. Ozark. Is that on Netflix? Okay, I don't either. I like to have the, okay, so I did listen to Dirty John, and I have done Serial, but I prefer to have the episode wrapped up, like the whole story wrapped up in one episode or two. I kind of lose interest if it's like a 9-part, thing on one story. Outlander, no. Manifest on Hulu. Oh my gosh, Courtney, I actually started watching that. And then I just, forgot about it. I think I watched, the first 2 episodes. That's the airplane one, right? Where they take off and land, 10 years later or something. I think I started that one. Dexter is amazing. You only ever did a 2-part. Yes, I only did 2-part for the Detrue. The Detrue case, I didn't want to go as deep into it as I could have because it was just heavy. Just researching it was heavy. I could rewatch The Vampire Diaries. Actually, I might start rewatching The Vampire Diaries. That's one of The Vampire Diaries, Gossip Girl, and what was the Friday Night Lights? No. What was the football one with Tim Riggins? We Are Twins, Mandy. Ooh, I I like Criminal Minds. I've watched almost all of those. I know, Gina. Thank you. Yeah, that case, I was like researching it and I just wanted to be done with that case. Like, I didn't like that case. Thank you, little Quames. Yeah, some cases get requested and I start to look into them and I'm not gonna devote that much time and energy into something so, like, horribly horrific. I have a really hard time doing cases that involve children. I do them sometimes, but I don't like to do them. I really try to steer clear of any kind of child, I don't know. I don't like to cover child cases. I do once in a while, but I will 100% gloss over gory details or sexual abuse details. Agreed. It was probably the grossest case I have ever heard of. Did you request that? I don't even know who requested that I ended up doing that case, but okay, for spring and summer, I understand why. Yeah, I have children, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I don't like to do it. Okay, so somebody asked what my plans are for spring and summer. I have no idea. I was supposed to fly out to Scottsdale next week with my daughter. That's not happening. Somebody requested that on Patreon, and that's why I did it on Patreon. But I was already kind of in it before. Like, I kind of started at the beginning, and then once I started going into it, I was like, oh, this case is a bad one. I think I even, like, when I taped it, said, guys, this is bad. This is a bad case. Seriously. I do not speak French, like a little bit of Spanish. I took Spanish all through high school, and then I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona, so there was a lot of influences. But I do not, like, fluently speak anything. Barely English, honestly, sometimes. So, I don't know. I wish I spoke another language, though. I did just get the Duolingo app to brush up on my Spanish while I'm just sitting home. Like, I'm trying to do things instead of just wait, like, I am gonna start my garden, which I was really into gardening for a while, and then I didn't do it, and now I'm, like, excited to grow pretty flowers and stuff. So will you ever do a makeup tutorial? Gina, I don't even know how to do makeup. I get asked that sometimes, and sometimes when I'm, like, doing my makeup in the day, I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll brush a little of this. Maybe I will. I just feel like everybody would come at me and be like, that's not how you do it. You're doing it wrong. This isn't what you're supposed to do, And I'm like, I don't know how to do makeup. Honestly, I try to do my makeup and film just on the weekends, so I don't even have to, like, so I have eyelash extensions right now, but they're falling out. So I don't even have to wear a ton of makeup during the week. I look at my nails, you guys, like, I've got some social distancing nails going on. My eyelashes are all falling out. Wakey, I did not see what you wrote, but everyone's responding, so I hope you're okay. Sorry, sometimes the comments go faster than see. Oh, Emma, that's the other thing. I got my eyebrows waxed actually right before we self-quarantined, but that was 3 weeks ago, so they're gonna be out of control here soon too. And I hate doing my own eyebrows. I hate it. I would rather just go have somebody wax them. Like, trying to pluck my own eyebrows is so painful to me. That's so funny because I actually say that. I will say I feel like I have 2 caterpillars on my face. My eyebrows are naturally super blonde, so you usually can't tell. Like in a video, I don't know if you'd be able to tell. Isolation is affecting my anxiety and depression. Okay, I don't know if you saw the beginning of this video, but it is, like, for me too, right? Like, I had kind of a breakdown yesterday where I was just, like, crying and spinning out of control. Like, everything, I feel like we are carrying a lot of very heavy things right now. And, I just, like, I feel for you guys. I get it. Hello. Yes. Thank you so much, Lori. I agree that we are all, like, my hair is starting to grow out. I feel like if we're in quarantine for very long, we're all gonna start looking so different. Like, if I'm under mental health team, honestly, I'm terrified of them. So, I don't know if this will help you, but I will just tell you what I decided yesterday was I can't, like, stay off of the news, right? Because, I do like to see the numbers and what's happening where, because that helps me kind of feel in control as much as possible of my situation. But you guys, I spent the weekend, like, reading every article and watching all of these YouTube videos and, like, full on way too much, right? Way too much. And half of these people, I don't even know if they really know. So it really, like, got to be way too much. And I just feel like, for me personally, I will still get on. I'll let myself for like 10 minutes kind of read through, like, our governor keeps having press conferences and stuff, see what's going on, and then I have to just, like, step back and try to do something different because it was stressing me out. I think everyone is so stressed out. Okay, sleep well, Gina. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. You're so sweet. I'm actually gonna hop off here in a minute. So I am in Utah, Cassie, and it's not bad here. We have about, I think, 1,000 cases. We've had 7 people die. Salt Lake is the kind of Utah epicenter. So it's growing, but it's not horrible here yet. I'm lucky I can just kind of stay home. I keep my kids home. But I just feel bad, like, everybody is struggling right now, and I feel bad. Actually, I've been thinking of doing a giveaway over on Patreon or maybe on YouTube. I don't know, like a $50 gift card. Just like Emma, they do, but they renamed it because the Mormons don't want to be called Mormon anymore. I don't know what they renamed it to, but they do have the choir, but their name is different. Where are you at? Where do you live? Anyway, so I think I might just, like, try to lift the LDS Church is what they renamed it to. such a spaz on here. Yes, that is exactly what I try to do. Like, be informed, but I was just taking in too much energy. Oh, I agree with that. How many bottles of wine has everyone burned through in the quarantine? And let's see where I live. It's not horrible, but it's pretty bad. Schools are closed till September. So right now they're telling us schools are closed till May 1st here. I don't know why they're not just saying schools are closed, but we're doing online school here. So where my sister lives in Arizona, they just canceled school. Like, they're just done. They don't have to do online school. But here in Utah, everyone is still doing online school, which I have such mixed feelings about, because on one hand, it's nice that my kids are still, they still kind of have a routine and a schedule. But on the other hand, it's so much more stress for me to try to make sure everybody's doing everything. And my 4 kids are pretty spread out in age. And so I have to do like each child's schooling individually with them. And it takes me the whole day. And then they're just bored. So they're just like eating and making messes. It's crazy. Alright guys, well, I am going to film. I have a serial killer ready to film that I've never heard of. Do you believe in second chances? Yes, I do. Hannah, I do too. Thank you, Alyssa. I do feel really bad for the seniors. I feel bad. I just feel bad for everybody. Like, this sucks. And I think it's important that we can acknowledge, like, this does suck. I know people are like, stay positive, and I agree, but also we need to be able to, like, mourn our old lives a little bit, right? Like, not for a long time, but everything is just so different now, and I think we need to be able to sit with that for a minute and then try to get through. So, anyway, okay, I am going to hop off here. I love you all. I hope that everyone is doing okay. Like, I'll keep checking in with you guys, because I really do, like, I see the same people commenting on all of my videos, and I feel like you guys are my friends. And so when I don't see somebody commenting who usually does, I am like, oh, I hope everything's okay, so let's stay in touch. If you guys have Instagram, follow me over there. I'm trying to be a little bit more active on my Instagram, and it's kind of been fun to connect over there with some of you. I sometimes get into these, like, really funny conversations through DMs with some of my subscribers, and I'm like, oh, I love you. Like, we could be friends. We are friends, but if we lived by each other, we would totally be hanging out. So, have a great night, you guys. I love you so much. Stay safe, stay warm, and if at all possible, get some sunshine. I feel like that is so important